afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Beyond the Bell. It is Wednesday, May 29th, 2024. It is a little more than 60 seconds after the bell. Apologize for a couple-minute delay there. Which means, of course, even though we're just a couple minutes past 4 o'clock, it is still time to go beyond the news, beyond the charts, beyond the bell. Brought to you by our good friends over at the Blue Sky Trading Company for the clearest path to a live brokerage account, live trading with Mike every day in the Discord. And this fan-freaking-tastic show, you have no reason to get your content or no reason to get your accounts anywhere else. Check us out at bluesky.pro. How's everybody doing? Drawdown, FPL, TCGX, Vera Normal. Glad you guys found the stream. Sorry, we just had a couple little technical snafus there. It happens from time to time. Things run pretty smoothly on this show about 95% of the time. Blue Sky for life, yes. Yeah. It sounds kind of cultish, but I guess that's appropriate here. Guys, let's go ahead and launch into and talk about the big picture. So as far as the NQ goes, everybody's favorite index, we're just right in the middle of this long-term zone here between 19K and 18,700. FPL says, still not a customer, just found you guys late. Well, that's great, FPL. We look forward to you joining the Blue Sky family as a customer. In the meantime, join our Discord, watch this show every day, watch Mike trade, and just do your thing, man. Develop your strategies, trade your setups, get funded, get to a brokerage, and make some crazy withdrawals. I wish that for each and every one of you guys. Yeah, very boring price action today. We'll take a look. Actually, gold and oil had some good movement today. We're going to start taking a look at those pretty regularly on this show. Yeah, there's always some action in the last few minutes, but here we're really in the middle of this zone here. We're dipping below. I honestly have a very neutral mindset right now. As long as we hold 18,700, I tend to think we're going to make a run back towards 19K. I don't know about tomorrow. I don't know about Friday, but we'll definitely keep an eye on that as we move into next week. Sort of a news vacuum this week. We talked about this on yesterday's show. There's just not a lot going on. But as we move into this week and shift towards next week, attention will start to focus on the FOMC meetings, which happen 2 weeks. Next group is 2 weeks from today. No drama in the announcement. It's a 99% FedWatch tool shows us. I think like 99.7% chance or something of rates remaining the same. But Chairman Powell's press conference, good old Jay Powell, and all the Fed speakers in the coming weeks are going to really kind of set the tone. I don't think there's going to be a lot of drama in July's meeting either, but September and as we move into the fall, there's going to be there might be a little drama there, and I think we're finally entering into a little space where nobody's quite sure what's going to happen. Remember, about this time last year, especially in the fall of 2023, they were predicting as many as 5 rate cuts in 2024, and we're closing in. We're not quite halfway done with the year yet, but we're going to make it halfway through the year without a single one. And so the markets will probably start to get a little impatient. Obviously, capital costs go up with interest rates, et cetera, et cetera. We're not worried about billionaire companies and their capital rates. We don't even care if the market goes to zero. We just want to catch a good trade on the way down there, right? Obviously, not a good thing for long-term accounts, including my own IRA, but for traders, it's what's the old phrase that they say in sailing? Just give me a good ship and a star to steer her by. And in the markets, we just want a good account and a good signal to steer our trading, right? All right, so Rich, hi Matt, I'm the master of DDs. I stopped trading at negative 599 and avoided liquidation of my 25K account. Okay, well, I mean, listen, tough day today, Rich, and if we go to I'm going to go to the ES 5-minute chart here. I think I have that pulled up. When our price action, guys, keep in mind, when price action just really, these are two things we don't want to see with price action, right? And you guys know this is a VWAP-based tool, right? We've got VWAP here, volume-weighted average price. We got +1 standard deviation here, -1 standard deviation here. Okay, now there was some okay movement here, and the market's basically opened right about here. Okay, but there's two things we don't want to see. We don't want to see price action trapped between these two bands, or in the NQ's case, a lot of it just kind of got trapped between VWAP and +1 standard deviation. We'll look at that in a moment. We also don't want to see, especially once we get about an hour after the open, these bands tucking in like this, right? And getting to the point where they're almost parallel. All right, we don't want to see that because that means market action is consolidating. Overall, the ATR and the dev widths were pretty good today. We just didn't get that breakout movement, guys. When I was doing my strategy meeting with my clients at noon, I was highlighting this ADD, the NYSE advanced decline, which was it's basically its most extreme reading for quite some time. Last Thursday we were kind of down there, but basically these areas below negative 1500 we do not reach very often, and so it is a no-go for long trading for me when the ADD is that negative. I took one trade, you could see the arrow there, one trade, decent win, and that was it. That was all I did today. So it's nice to be green, but there just wasn't a whole lot of opportunities today, so don't beat yourself up too much. Recognizing that things are not going your way and stopping to trade is a very, very important thing to do, right? It's a very important realization, and be able to kind of mentally reset and come back tomorrow. Again, we've seen this, guys. If you haven't figured this out so far this calendar year, and if you don't watch, if you haven't figured this out, you don't watch this show regularly because we harp on this all the time. Okay, we are in a mode in the markets right now where those days where there's just not a lot of price movement are sort of chunked together in groups, right? We saw it a couple days last week. So far, our first two trading days, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, just not a ton of movement. A couple breakdowns yesterday at the close, today at the close, a little bit of price action that was tradable. But other than that, just not much going on. And then we get into 2, 3, 4, 5 days where the price action trades very well, and there's some good trending price action. So these days are clumping up. Now, traditionally, that is how it goes, but it seems to be even more of an extreme this year. We don't just get one day of lax price action, or we don't just get one day of good price action. They almost always come in groups of 2 or 3. So keep that in mind, guys. So, every rule in the market is 100% until it's not, right? So from now until this changes, you have to assume that after like tomorrow, let's say tomorrow we get great price action, that's probably going to start a 2 to 3 day run of good price action, and then the next time coming out of that we get very poor price action is probably going to start a 2 to 3 session period where we don't get a lot of price action, or like good movement or good tradable movement, right? NQ, as you can see, guys, for most of the day got trapped up in this band between plus one standard deviation and VWAP. There's next to nothing to do in these situations, at least for me as a VWAP-based trader. I need to see, again, that price action expansion. And after the opening move, there just wasn't a whole lot going on today, guys, and that's okay. At least in the indexes. Gold had a really nice day, and I used to trade gold pretty regularly, and I got away from it because the ES and the NQ were just so good to me. But I'm going to start getting back into them. We're going to start talking a little more about this show. Gold really held negative VWAP for the entire day, and gold and oil are nice trenders with this. And this is what we talked about. Now, granted, this was early morning, but we talked about this with the markets, right? Where when we're seeing an area, and this was pre-market overnight, holding above VWAP, and as soon as we cracked below VWAP, we stayed there the rest of the session, right? So again, market behavior seems to be pretty consistent across a lot of the tradable instruments right now. So we're going to continue to talk about that and focus on that as the markets progress. So let me catch up on the questions here. First of all, I appreciate the questions, guys. Some days we have 50 people in here. Some days we have 500, and the questions have been really, really good questions. FPL Fantasy Arabia, I don't want to talk specifically about accounts because A, a lot of that information is available on the website, and B, I do encourage you in the Ask Questions tab of our Discord. You can join our Discord if you're not in it already by going to bluesky.pro, clicking on the invite link at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, because Blue Sky sponsors this show. I don't work for Blue Sky. I just really believe in their mission of educating traders, and that's where I come in. So I don't want to accidentally misspeak and you buy an account based on something I say. And I'm pretty sure I can answer 99% of the questions correctly, but if the one time I stumble or say something wrong and you buy based on that, and then you say, well, Matt said this, and they'll say, well, Matt doesn't, Matt's a friend and we sponsor his show, but he doesn't work here, right? So I don't want to put you guys in that position. And of course, if you have any account questions about your individual account, renewal, billing, anything, passing, or anything like that, please go to the website, click on the support icon in the lower right-hand corner. Awesome guys like like Josh, Raj, Asher will help you out. Fantastic support team at Blue Sky. Their reviews are very, very good for a reason, because they take care of you, right? They'll help you. I rarely have seen issues not be resolved fairly quickly, especially simple issues, right? Like little missteps or little miscalculations or little things here or there. They'll be happy to help you out. So as far as answering questions on that, I encourage you to the website. Exceeding 3 trades per day, usually negative outcome after 3 trades. It was plus 4R, then ended. Okay. Well, honestly, Makar, if you're somebody who, and the phrase over trading is different to different people. For some people, 5 trades a day is over trading, right? For me, about 8 to 10 trades a day is over trading. I try to keep it no more than, I haven't traded more than 5 times, I think, in 3 or 4 months. It's been a long time. I really like to be in that 3 to 4 trade sweet spot. Obviously, only one today. It was green. Okay. But those are the types of things that are individual response. But yeah, if you are continuously, like your last 2 to 3 trades of the day, let's say you trade, well, you said over 5 times, so you're basically determining trades 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are less likely to be successful. Okay, that's great. Now you have your stopping point. It sounds like you've already taken the data into consideration and analyzed the data. Now you've just got to act on what you found, right? So honestly, Rich, okay, let me 100 NQ trades today. Oh, brother. No. I feel like saying no for every one of those 100 trades, but people have things to do and places to be, so I'm not. But no. 100 trades is way too effing many. Way too effing many. Okay? So, again, overtrading does look different to different people, and so I can't, I can tell you what I'm working with individual clients, whether one-on-one coaching situations or members of my community. I can work with, I know them a little better, so I can, and I, see their journals and things like that. So it's a little easier for me to give them a little more personalized recommendations, or at least tell them what I would do if I was sitting in their seat, right? But in your situation, I don't specifically know, but I can tell you 100 is just too damn many. Way too damn many. Okay, I would sincerely, you've got to set a cap for yourself, and honestly, it should be 10 or less. And one of the things that's going to happen, because 100 trades, there's no way. And Rich, you're a loyal watcher. I wish you the absolute best, but I need to come at you just a little bit here, because you watched this show enough. You knew this was over trading, right? You kind of alluded to that in one of your questions. So. Honestly, you need to set a cap and you need to stick to it. Now, I swear I'll get it. Trading coaches like myself can help you determine what an appropriate amount of trades are, but ultimately we can't make the trades or not make the trades for you, right? We're not sitting there. I mean, I guess if you want to pay me, let's say $100,000, I'll fly out to your house, and when you overtrade, I'll smack you on the back of the head really, really hard, right? But I really don't have that kind of time. You probably don't have that kind of money to throw away on somebody's flying somewhere to slap you. So let's put that aside. But at some point, that's on you. You've just got to stop. And so there's no way, especially if you're trading the NQ today, which you said 100 trades in the NQ, there's no way you found 100 setups. You're getting into trades. You're buying because you think it's going to go up. You're selling because you think it's going to go down. Some of my clients were telling me an hour into the market today, and these are other people who are, I wouldn't call them beginners necessarily, but less experienced certainly than me, and they're identifying that it's not going to be a great market an hour into the day. So that's what you need to be able to develop and understand. Okay, this is just not a day. This was not a day for 2 setups for me, let alone 100. So that means you're trading without setups, right? So that, to me, unless you're doing some sort of scalping stuff, but honestly, guys, I've said many times, I think scalping is kind of bullshit for newer traders. That's not to say, I have people message me all the time that they've got this scalping system, and honestly, it's like I said, I was born in Wisconsin, but my family's from Missouri. It's a show me state. You got to show me. You got to show me that it can produce consistent profits, not week after week, not month after month, but year after year. I tell somebody with a scalping system, come at me when you've got 2 years of data, and then I'll help you work something out. I actually had somebody reach out and take me up on that. I'm going to meet with them next week, and we'll see. Hey, we'll see if it's something they allow me to share. I'll share it. Otherwise, we'll go from there. But scalping for 3, 4, 5 points in the NQ, that's a rounding error, right? When the ATR of the NQ is, let's see, what is it? 17. And that's pretty low, right? Anything under 20 is considered a little low. And you're playing for 5 points, a quarter ATR move. That's a sneeze, right? A market maker sneezes or spills his coffee on his computer, and the NQ moves 30 points, right? So you're gambling at that point. So you really need to come up with a set number of trades, and I would recommend going all the way down to 10 or less. And I'm not, somebody says, oh, well, go do 50 tomorrow and then get it down to 30. No, you need to go cold effing turkey, right? There's no wiggle room there. So let's say 10, and when you are done with 10 trades, you log out and you're done. Okay, now, hopefully you don't burn through those in the first 5 or 10 minutes. Hopefully you take your time and say, you know what, I'm only going to trade really good setups or setups that I really believe are going to be profitable, because obviously if you have 100 bites of an apple, 10 is a lot less. You got to make sure they're good bites. So, yeah, it was, yeah, it's, guys, man. Rich, I'm rooting for you. Feel free to reach out to me via direct message, and we can chat a little bit. But yeah, it's a tough situation, and that's just too many damn trades. Too many damn trades. There's no other way around it. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Oh, KG, what is the name of that indicator on your screen with tracks? That's just a simple VWAP indicator with plus and minus standard deviation bands. That's all it is. There's a lot of them out there that are very, very similar. So it's just basic volume-weighted average price. This is the tool called the VWAP. It's built into TradingView. They have some paid indicators as well, but this main one is free. But almost any platform has a very basic VWAP indicator built in. Most of them have the standard deviation bands, not all of them, but that's basically what I put a tolerance band on my plus and minus one standard deviations. You see there, so it gives me a zone rather than a specific area, because I found that price actions, you can see here, this makes a lot of sense. This zone, once you see these lines on there, so I give it a 0.1 tolerance band on the plus and minus one standard deviations. All right, guys. So we kind of had our lesson of the day there. Rich, thank you for being the sacrificial lamb. And in all seriously, you'll be all right. You just need to, again, when you get it in your head that I can only trade X times today, and so they better be damn good trades. That's the first step. Now, again, if you're still trading without setups at that point, you've got to be willing to, you got to be willing to go for those. So it's a thing, Rich. It's a process. Remember, this. I know it sounds cliche. I use a lot of cliches in the show, but there's a lot of cliches that are that way for a reason, right? There's a lot of stereotypes that exist for a reason. Stereotype of traders is we're all a little off a little bit, right? And I can tell you that stereotype is 100% accurate. I've yet to meet a successful trader that doesn't have something that's a little unique or weird about them. And I use weird like in a positive sense, like the Weird Al way, right? It takes a bold person. Well, 2 parts bold, 1 part stupidity to get into trading, right? And it takes the right amount of stubbornness to get good at it, right? Because you got to be stubborn enough that you're not going to quit, but not so stubborn that you're not willing to change things along the way, okay? So keep that in mind. Keep pushing forward and keep us updated on your progress. All right, so let me catch up here. Oh, everybody else helping out Rich with some recommendations and advice. Man, I love you guys. We're turning this into a really nice little community here, sort of a de facto community that meets for a half hour a day. I really like that, so I appreciate that. And I see a lot of the same names here every day. And guys, if you come here every day and you don't contribute in the chat, that's okay. I don't want anybody to jump out if they're not comfortable. But please, you're always welcome to say hello and reach out. And when somebody, like when you see this, when somebody's struggling, feel free to offer. If you're somebody who's gone through it, maybe either A, you're going through it now and you could say, hey, I'm dealing with that too, rooting for you, man. Or just say, hey, I dealt with that here. Here's a little step that I took to correct it, right? Because, as somebody who I've worked with, gosh, I need to go back and look, because I try to keep an exact count of the number of traders I've worked with one-on-one. It's over 300 now, but I've also, spoken in small groups, large groups, virtual meetings, big meetings. I actually have an event next week that I will give you guys a link to. It's a free event with the Mad Hedge Fund traders. I do 2 or 3 events for them for a year. Fantastic event. It's all free. It's all free. There's 3 days of speakers. There's swing trading. There's day trading, options, futures. I think I'm the only day trading futures guy that's at this event. I go next Thursday at I think it's 9 a.m. so right before the markets open. I love opening they go from like 9 to 4 every day. It's great. But I'll as soon as they send me the links to sign up, I'll send them to you. But yeah, it's we're all retail traders. We're all on the same team, right? So yeah. Can you show us an A+ setup to get into a trade? Well, Oscar, I can, but we really don't have that kind of time. Yeah, I'm actually in the process now, guys. I've redoing. I will be producing my first 2 full length. So we're talking like 3+ hour strategy courses under my banner. That'll be available in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'll keep you updated on that. I've done a few small ones, and I've done some big strategy courses for other places that I've worked. I've never done multi-hour strategy courses for under my Teresias Trading banner. Those will be out in the next couple of weeks. I'll give you information on those when they're available. But until then, A+ setup is I always have to break things down. I can't just show you like a basic pattern and then the first 2 times you trade it, you lose because you didn't look at something else that I didn't have time to mention, and then I'm getting angry emails, etc., right? I've gone over some of that on this show before, but it's something that again, if you're looking for somebody, guys, and I'm going to put in the chat really quickly here. Hi, Lame Matrix. I don't care if you're shy. I appreciate you being here, man. Okay, so in the chat, guys, I'm typing one word, Nison, Nison. So if you're looking for some place to start, maybe you're just here. Let's bring it into the studio for this one. Maybe you're a little lost, right? You're trading 100 times a day and you're not really sure what you're doing it for. I would highly recommend starting with Steve Nison's material. Steve Nison is one of the candlestick OGs. Most of his stuff is 20, 30 years old. A lot of it's out of print. I don't know what he does or doesn't have anymore. But if you look up on eBay and just type in Steve Nison candlesticks, usually there's a lot of his books and his DVD courses that are there secondhand. These things used to cost thousands upon thousands of dollars. Now people sell their, I bought somebody's UCDs 10 years ago for like $50. So obviously, guys, as a fellow creator of content and educational content, I would encourage you not to buy something that is like illegally copied or pirated. I'm not the moral police, however, so I just ask you to do right by people. But again, you can buy a secondhand book of his, like the Candlestick Course is his main book. Usually it's $10-15, and even legitimate copies of his DVDs, if somebody's just unloading them, you can get for $50. So I encourage you to look into that. I know DVDs are a little out now, but we all still have DVD players or PlayStations or Xboxes in our houses, and we can do that. But he's great dealing with candlesticks, and it's a great place to start your educational journey. So if you've been trading for a few months, maybe you haven't sought out some real good education outside of the show, Mike's Trading, all that kind of stuff, and my style may not work for you, Mike's style may not work for you, that's okay. You can develop your own style, but just basic candlestick patterns, 1 candlestick, 2, 3, 4, 5 candlestick patterns is a great place to start, and his stuff I cannot recommend it enough. I don't make courses on like candlestick stuff like that because I don't think I could do it any better than him. If I make a course on something like a strategy that I teach or trading psychology, like there's a particular aspect of that course I think I can teach just as well as anybody else. Candlesticks, no, he's so damn good at it. There's no reason for me to do that. I make plenty of money trading. I don't have to squeeze every dollar out of my education business. So I'll just sit here and tell you go find his materials. You got to get a job so you can pay for funded account. Yeah, well, that's it. You got to do what you got to do, Lame. But I appreciate you being here as always. All right, guys. So I'm going to give you one more opportunity for questions here, and then we'll wrap it up. I appreciate you guys. So tomorrow's Thursday. I can either confirm nor deny that there may be or may not be or possibly will be a giveaway. But as you guys know, watch your email, watch the announcements tab throughout the day. Sometimes, in those of you that have watched this show since we started in January, sometimes we do giveaways with no announcement. And people are like, oh, there's no giveaway. I'm not going to be on the bell today. And next thing you know, those that show up have much better odds than when we announce it ahead of time, right? So just keep that in mind. That's I hope we provide good education. I hope we do the things that make you a better trader on this show every day. But just make it part of your routines. No different than anything else. Spend like 2 weeks watching the show. Again, we're Monday through Thursday, every day at the close, or watching it later. Guys, I see our views. Sometimes our views double overnight. So special hello from the past to all you watching in a few hours. But anytime between now and the market open, actually, I know somebody that emailed me just about a month ago that said they actually watch Beyond the Bell. They live in Europe, so they're able to watch before the market open there in the evening. They trade a couple hours in the evening, then they eat dinner and go to bed. So I I forget your name off the top of my head, but whoever you are, I appreciate it, and keep watching. All right, guys. Well, if there's nothing else, we will go ahead and wrap up this show. We are almost we are over the hump, even on a short week. Tomorrow is Thursday, and we'll talk about what's going on in the markets from there. So have a great rest of your day, guys, and I will see you tomorrow for another edition of Beyond the Bell. Good night.